to have that spark, but I didn't want to just to end it there. So the HackDay Foundation that I created was basically go to cities that are let's say underdeveloped from a technology ecosystem. So we've done it in Miami, we've done it in Buenos Aires, Argentina, we've done it in Sao Paulo. We're going to do it next year. We're going to do it probably in 10 cities. And it's a little different than a startup weekend and other events because first of all, it starts with a hackathon in the sense that I want to see prototypes of ideas. So it's a 24-hour. And I also believe in that it has to be 24 hours. I already done it 5 times, so I've seen how the magic happens like at 4 in the morning when guys are like, guys and girls that just can't do it anymore, and then like all of a sudden they get this adrenaline rush, they finish it, and by noon the next day they're like pumped, like if they hadn't slept for 2 days straight. And I think it's a very interesting experience what happens. So basically, it starts with a hackathon, 24 hours, prototype something, and the idea is not just to do an app. The idea is create something that could be the basis for a company. So the judges on Sunday, it starts on Saturday, and on Sunday, basically they look at what people build and they say, okay, this is technologically interesting and it has a potential to be a company. So there's basically about 5 or 6 criteria that we score the hacks on, and that's when the fun starts, because then once we choose those 5 finalists, then we usually partner with another big event. This year's ABCC again. So the ABCC is an event that, again, that's where the HackDay concept was born. And this year I sort of took ownership of the program. So the event is going to be in December 13th and 14th in Brickell. I'm bringing about 40 speakers from all over the world, and some of them I was just telling Steve, like I have, for example, a big data panel, and I'm bringing the top guy in big data of IBM, and 2 guys that are two of the top European thought leaders in graph theory and sort of databases and things like that. So basically, it's 2 days of really interesting panels. You should check it out. It's abcc.fiu.edu. So what happens is on Sunday, those 5 finalists are going to get coached over the next couple of days, and over the next couple of days they could actually work more on the prototype. They could actually recruit a team. The idea is, I give you 4 days to get that initial idea, make it pretty, figure out how you're going to build a business around it, and go and pitch to venture capitalists on the ABCC, basically how that hack, now it's the idea for a startup. And the idea is the winner takes potentially $50,000. The way that we did it was $30,000 automatic, and if the team decides to commit full time to the concept for the next 90 days, we'll give them another $20,000. So basically the idea is I give you enough money for most of the people that I know that are competing in this thing could actually leave what they're doing and commit to this project. And the concept is work on the next 90 days, and then I'm going to, we created the concept called the HackDay Acceleration Program, which is basically, depending on what the winning project is, I'll get the best mentors in the world to actually come in and sort of help that company take it to the next level. So basically, after 90 days, not only you're going to have the best coaching and mentorship in the world, pretty much probably you're going to be ready to raise the seed round of financing. And the idea is, within a week, you pretty much got the experience of what it is to build a company. Hopefully you got the money to actually go and do it, and within 90 days, you're probably ready to take that startup to the next level. So it's a very interesting concept from anything that I've seen anywhere else. And if you go to hackday.co, you're going to see the mentors. You're going to see what I call the Hack Masters, which is, these are all guys that have built $100 million companies and have done it many times. So the idea is to put to put all that network that I have basically in touch with the community, and then get the community to basically get to know each other, right? Because the other part of the hackathon is you get to hang out with people that pretty much share your same your same interest, and you get to meet them, and who knows? Maybe you're competing with them in this thing, but then you get an idea and you say, hey, that guy that participated in this thing could be a great addition to the team, and who knows? That's how I build all my companies. It's been just by meeting people, and then all of a sudden the spark, you start putting things together and you create it. and then so we have those. That's the main prize, right? But then we have challenges. So I have a bunch of sponsors that give like different challenges, and that's to make it funner, and so not everybody wins the big prize, but I want everybody to at least have a chance to win something. So, for example, my company, the music company, so we build algorithms for recommendation, and we have a music service and a bunch of things. So we actually bought a bunch of Raspberry Pis, and we're actually giving a challenge to someone that comes up with a cool like music device hack. So you could actually use. And the idea is we're going to be showcasing for the first time our API. It's actually the first graph API of music, which is really cool. Today we spent 2 hours talking to Facebook, and it's actually taking the Facebook Open Graph concept and putting it into music. So so you're gonna get to play with that API, and you could actually hook it up to whatever you want. Set YouTube, our own platform, or whatever. And basically the winner's gonna get $1,000. So and you get to take the Raspberry Pi home. And even I bought a 3D printer, so you actually get a cool case and actually create something really cool about it. So the idea is I'll probably get some Arduino boards now. It's with a robotics team, and I say if you guys come, you tell me what you want to do, and I'll buy it. And so the idea is play with all these things that maybe sometimes students don't have the ability to go and buy it, but we could get it and get to play with it and get to learn from each other. So that's a hack day. So hopefully you guys want to participate. Oh, the other thing is engineering oriented. So a lot of since I did my previous hackathon, I mean now it's been like 20 hackathons last year or something. But I try to stay true to what I'm trying to do. So basically, I see pretty much engineering. So what we did this year is actually usually when you apply, you need to tell the board what languages you do, what frameworks, your GitHub. I mean, we see how active you are, because obviously we want people that can produce stuff over 24 hours. And this year we added the additional thing of adding a codility test, which basically measures your, it sort of scores your programming. But more than anything, some people get intimidated. I haven't taken a test. It's not like you have to pass the test. We just want to make sure that that you could code. But I did it for another reason, because you want to go work at Google, you have to take a codility test. So I wanted to basically give you a sense of what's out there in the real world. Play with this thing, take it. Then we can sit down and actually, I have some very senior guys that could actually sit down with you and explain to you why you were wrong and all that kind of stuff. So again, all this is about learning experience. It's about getting to work and working. So it turns pretty high pressure. But I think that's what at the end of the whole period is crazy. I mean, everybody's like not only competing, but at the end of the day, you don't even think about competing. You're just trying to finish what you have. And then what I see is once all that is done, people say, "Man, I did all this." I didn't think that in 24 hours you could do all this. So that's the concept. So hopefully you guys could participate, and I welcome you. And it's going to be at Lab Miami, which is actually something that I'm also helping put together, which is a co-working space in Wynwood. It's about 10,000 square feet of space there. So hopefully you guys all starting your own companies, you could go and set up office there. And we're doing well. Our partner is the Knight Foundation, so Knight, they did a New Me yesterday, the accelerator thing. Knight is super committed to the community. They're doing a ton of investments. They actually have a $10 million fund to invest in Miami startups. So it's basically it's a great group of people that really want to see the community succeed. So again, take a chance, and hopefully you enjoy it.
So some interaction. Just so that you know who's here, so how many people in this room know how to code? Okay, and how many people here have been in a hackathon before? How many people here have actually won a hackathon? Okay, how many people here have their own startup? So now you know who you're talking to. Okay.
That's exactly the profile. I mean, all my guys are all participating. All my team. I mean, and I don't make them, but they love it. I mean, they love it. I mean, again, we do it internally, and sometimes we invite even from the outside to come and hack with us and give us ideas. And it's my biggest frustration is not being a coder. I started as a financial guy, and today I'm the idea guy. I come up with all the stunts, and I design in PowerPoint, so it's funny. My designers make fun of me, but I got pretty good at it. But yeah, it's amazing that the opportunity that you have today, to pretty much make anything that you want to happen, and this is just one more platform for that.
So, any questions from the group here about the rules? Is there any concerns? Guys, come and have a seat. We're just doing Q&A right now.
Yeah,
Sure.
the more important things, there are no rules, right? So.
Hey, John.
First, I saw you guys were doing a test. I was wondering, can you take the test and not participate? Because I was just interested in the test part.
You're not interested?
I was interested in the test.
Okay.
I was just interested in the
I'll
test.
give you a test. Yeah. So actually, Codility, the guys from Codility are actually super amazing guys. They're from Poland, and they actually were part of the Google team, and they went out and they did this Codility company. And more and more, I'm seeing everybody use it, and they actually partnered with us, and they gave me hundreds of tests. So I have tests for anybody who wants to take one. I cannot do a single one of them, but all my guys do it. Actually, we do it like every quarter. So see how they improve and all that kind of stuff. It tells you a lot. It tells you a lot, and again, more importantly is it's more and more leading edge companies are utilizing it. So it's good for you to get familiarized with it.
So, anybody else? Any other questions, concerns, issues about the
There's
hackathon?
a lot of food, like last year we got catered by Novecento, so it's like the most, the most. So I don't know, this year who. But yeah, I try to make it fun. I mean, we have masseuses that come over and all that. So it's I call everybody I know and I say pitch in something.
Second question. We just had a question about the date. Is it December 8th?
Yeah, so it's December. So the hackathon is 8th and 9th, and then basically the presentation to the judges is for the final prize is the 14th, which is Friday. So from the 9th, if you're selected as a finalist, you have from the 9th to the 14th to make this thing rock. I mean, you could re-engineer the entire code. You could recruit a team. I mean, the idea when you go to the 14th, pitch a company. Because the judges are like the CEO of .co, Boris Irmas, who is a very successful investor. Michael Jackson, who used to be the CEO of Skype, and he runs one of the largest funds in Europe. So you're going to get a lot. I mean, last year we had Dave McClure, who I brought over. And so, again, the whole experience, once you're done with that, I mean, once you go out and go raise money, these are the guys you're going to be raising money from. So that you're going to be able to actually get a real good feeling of what it would be if you really went out. I mean, if you guys did already, obviously you know how it is. It's always good to practice. $300 million. I cannot tell you how many pitches I've done. So you always get better. You always learn.
I wanted to ask you, last year I think you did one, right? So maybe you can tell us a little bit about who the winner was and what the process of what they built and why they were the winner.
Well, they were the winners because the judges selected them, right? So each one had a different thing. So the actual winning team. So last year we had the prize pool was much smaller. It was actually Miami was the first one. Then we did in Buenos Aires, and that one was huge. We did in Mercado Libre, which is like the eBay of Latin America. It was a much bigger event. But so the one in Miami, the team that won. So we had so the grand prize, and then we had like a challenge. The DDA, the Downtown Development Authority, put out a challenge of someone that could solve the problem with the bridges in downtown, because there's a lot of congestion. So they put that as a challenge, and they gave a special prize for that. So the team that won that actually won the hackathon, and then the team started negotiating with DDA to actually deploy the technology to the bridges. I don't know where it ended up. I don't know. As Tony, I know that he's all these companies. So I don't know if I did, but actually, they had the opportunity to take that hack and actually turn it into a company. Then there was another special challenge, which was ING, the bank, gave its challenge to Juan and Bermudez, who won it. And then there was all sorts of things. There was, the guys from Bellumio that raised money now. Actually, they actually competed there, and they were one of the finalists. There's a Shopulator, which was an NFC powered thing. So So it's good to see that the guys that competed now, they raise money. It's part of the experience. So in Argentina, the winner actually raised money. They started something called Q Resto, which was a really cool app for restaurants. It's actually it was a NFC and QR code type of thing for restaurants, but the idea was use it as an ordering system, or at least to call the waiter, but then he turned around and created an analytics company for a restaurant. So all of a sudden, little restaurant could have like a Google Analytics about all the table turnover and performance of the waiters and all that kind of stuff. So it was a very simple solution, very elegant, and it solved a problem that pretty much you see in every corner in every city in the world. So as a small restaurant owner, what's his turnover, table rate, and this and that. So really really cool ideas come out of it. And this year, I that's what I was talking to robotics teams. I love, I put a challenge inside that was hardware, because I see a lot of innovation right now going in the union between software and hardware. So I would love to see some cool stuff happening in that space. Someone coming up with something. There's a lot of stuff going on in the web this year. The whole theme is they call it the connected self or something like that. So all these jawbone things and the upbands and all this data about you and the Fitbit. So there's all this unity between hardware and sensors and and the analytics behind it. So hopefully we see some of that come out of this one.
Okay. Is this competition hosted every year?
Yeah, this is the second year. Hopefully we do it every year. So, and then, next year, next year again we have the ambition to take it actually to 20 cities or something like that. So there's a lot of foundations, like the NAC that are supporting this, that are really interested in taking this. Because the interesting is, I think from what I've seen, is the closest you get to really see what it is to start a company. I think it leaves a mark in that community. So and every time we do, we try to perfect it a little bit more.
Can you bring your own hardware?
Yeah, you can bring whatever you want. So the only rules is, look, compete in a fair ground with everybody, right? So you can bring whatever you want into it, but whatever you build it over 24 hours. And obviously the judges the weekend are more technical. So they see something and it doesn't smell right, like 6,000 lines of code or whatever, 24 hours, with complete beautiful code, and it's not gonna happen. What we're looking for is a prototype. We're looking for something that some of them. We had guys that had beautiful designs and all that kind of stuff, and you could tell that it didn't happen over that period of time. So when we sit down and we say, look, tell us, and so we try to, but we use the honor system. We're all here in the community. We're all trying to do. Nobody wants a smart ass. So be honest. But if you bring cool things to hack, even better. I would love for someone to bring some stuff that really opens everybody's heads. And that's really.
Well, there's some, because you mentioned Fitbit and some of these other devices. They're already in the mainstream.
You can bring whatever device you want.
So if it's something that's like a Sphero, like for instance the AT&T hackathon, they had the Sphero. So we know some people here have Spheros as a result of that, and they can bring those and come up with some new ideas.
Yeah. And if there's something in particular, someone says, I would like something like that, but I don't have the money to buy it or whatever, let me know and we can figure out a way to get it. Again, it's more, use it as an opportunity to play with things that sometimes maybe are not possible.
Great. Any other questions before we have to let Demian get on back to his busy world?
Yeah, to my 2-year-old.
Yes.
Great. So, hopefully I see you guys.
One question. So, I can't think of a question right now, but I'm sure I'll have questions when I really start researching it. Can we email you our question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where can we get your email?
I put some of my cards here. It's actually my work email, but my other work. I'll put some cards here, and I don't know I don't even know what my email is, but people always email me. I think in Eventbrite or something. It's
you can find them on Twitter. I think you have a
Twitter. Yeah, but I leave some cards here. If you guys want to.
Yeah.
And also for Sensari, we're always recruiting talented people, so, especially big data and things like that, so the interview is interested. And we have a 3D printer and all that, the new MakerBot, the 2, and so if you guys ever want to pass by, hang out with us, play around with our toys, more than welcome to do so.
Great. Thank you, Demian. Take care. Thank you so much. All right. So that was a great presentation from Demian about HackDay's activities. Now we'll have another great presentation from one of our members, Michael, who has gone through a very interesting experience with his partner, Raymond. So I would like to give the floor to these guys so that they can tell you a little bit more about some of their experiences in the App Store. Okay. Okay. No problem. Okay, let's